Hi guys, so I'm back with another video. Before I start, as you can see, I'm not wearing any makeup today, and I also have no nail varnish on, which is kind of gross. That wasn't the aim of this video, but I thought that because I'm talking about makeup today, there's not much point in talking about makeup and not wearing makeup and then still wearing makeup in the video. I hope that makes sense. There's so little and so much to say at the same time, but I will start with my makeup story, my makeup story. So when I was a kid, I'm gonna zoom past this because I'm sure most of you know this from my old channel, but yeah, when I was a kid, wasn't allowed to wear makeup like most children anyway, and then growing up, I grew up like going to a certain church on Sundays and Fridays sometimes, and they just have very strict ethos on makeup and what kind of clothing you can wear, and hair and nails and dating, everything, loads of stuff. So as a youth it was quite difficult growing up in that kind of environment because there's a lot of things you just were not allowed to do. So for me, I didn't really rebel at that time. I was more into just using the resources I had, and my mum had this Vogue book and I would read it like all the time, so books just became my thing of how to learn about makeup. So I started reading this book and it was huge, it's like a thick beauty book. Hopefully if I find it one day I can show it to you guys. And it had everything you had to know: nails, hair, and not just makeup but like home remedies and why certain makeup items are good for certain things. And yes, I started reading that, so that really just founded my knowledge of makeup. And then after that I started reading Bobbi Brown books. She is like amazing, oh my gosh. And yeah, so it was getting towards my year 11 prom, so it was end of year prom, and I'd been reading Bobbi Brown a lot, and her book, the book I read, was like based around like teens and prom makeup looks and stuff like that. So I started reading that and it was amazing. She's so talented. Oh gosh, I just remember the feeling of being like 14 and reading that. And then I had my prom, blah blah blah, did my makeup, it was all dandy, blah blah. So that's kind of the story of it now. I'm just gonna do kind of the negatives, or the stuff that I didn't enjoy growing up to do with makeup and how it's made me who I am now. So when I was younger, it wasn't that people wore makeup at school, it was actually more about hair, a lot more. I had huge, really long, like people in my family just have really long hair, and I had this huge afro, but I would either put in braids or put it in thread. And on my year 11 prom I actually had my natural hair out. Hopefully I'll link a picture below to how I looked and everything, because I know some people are interested in that kind of garbage, but anyway, not garbage, but you know. And yeah, so that was kind of a thing for me. So I think I fell back on makeup, like the small amount of makeup that I was allowed to wear then, as a safety net, because I just felt like I wasn't pretty enough, so I couldn't change my hair and I couldn't change my clothes, so I could wear makeup and take it off before I got home and no one would notice, blah blah. So I started doing that, and then when I finished around sixth form uni times, that's when I really started going into makeup, like foundations, concealers, eyeshadows, a lot more, just learning more about that. And I think it was a major crutch, definitely, like a huge crush. Crush? What? Weirdly enough, I feel quite comfortable talking to you guys like this. But yeah, so it was a huge crutch, and my videos are starting to take off, and I would hate leaving the house without any makeup on because people who watch my videos would see me, and I just felt so embarrassed and just awful. And like, I remember one of the most awful feelings was just like walking down the street not wearing any makeup on and no guys looking at you, and then walking down the street with full head of makeup on, and then obviously your hair done, clothes and all that sort of stuff, and guys would look at you, and I just used to be like, what's the point? Like, they clearly don't really like me for my natural self. So that was kind of hard to deal with. And I remember flitting back and forth a lot, sorry. I remember being like 14 and sitting on the bus, and these boys were listening to Cassie, Long Way to Go, if anyone remembers that song. No, Long Way. You know what, this is bad, I'm sorry, I'm singing Me and You, which is not the song I'm talking about. But okay, so in the video, Cassie, before she cut her hair, had like a sweeping fringe and then wavy hair and then this red dress. And I remember just wanting to be like that. Not necessarily the light skin thing or the real hair thing, not even that, just pretty and the dress and just exuding beauty and just attraction and sexiness, actually, to a certain degree. Just having so much sexual confidence and just being happy and being beautiful kind of thing. And so with all of that, by the time I was like 20, 21, like oh my gosh, it was bad. It was so bad. Like, I think having a lot of my best friends around me, I had always had this bad like mentality of my friends are more beautiful than me, or they get more attention than me, and that used to make me devalue myself. And I just kind of just started thinking that, oh my gosh, it was so bad. Like, just remembering it, like, I would literally just look in the mirror and just be like, I'm so ugly. Like, I'm so ugly. Like, oh my god, why do I look like this? And it was just, oh, it was such an awful feeling. And then it just deteriorated. It got so bad, and to the point I just cry about it all the time. And like, when my friends got noticed by guys, it would literally just cut me, because it wasn't that I felt that I wasn't pretty. I think I felt that they could get attention just being natural and not wearing as much makeup as I did, or wearing a small amount of makeup, and I would still just feel so awful. And I'll just feel so guilty for wearing so much makeup all the time. And there's just so much just self-guilt and self-condemnation. It was just getting so heavy. And then, as quite a few of you know, of course, last year, end of July, yeah, I became born-again Christian. And I don't really like saying it like born-again Christian, I just became Christian. And from that, like, it was such a good, I really needed that change, because like, so many things were just so heavy, like like the Bible actually says, like, it's a burden, like, it's just so heavy. And so after that, there was this one day that oh yeah, I was watching Joyce Meyer, and like, I just felt really sleepy all of a sudden, like really tired. And so I went to bed, and then I slept, and then I had a dream, and then I woke up, and then literally like my whole body was like tingling, and then I literally like couldn't move, like literally couldn't move. So I was in bed, and I looked, and I remember just looking to the right and I remember thinking, this is how people feel in hospital when they can't move. Like, I literally just could not move. I couldn't get out of bed. And I knew it was God, and I was just like, okay, this is a bit, and then I started to get scared. And then I remember just going, Dad, because after, like, as I started to grow in Christ and stuff, from being saved until that moment, I started just calling God Dad, because I just felt like he was my dad in heaven. And when I would have a bad day, I would just vent and be like, Dad, this day's just so upsetting, and I'm just so annoyed, and like, no one's on my side. And it just got into a habit, really. And yes, I remember just going Dad. And then as soon as I said it, as soon as I tried to whisper it out, I just heard a roar, like a physical noise, like, around me, like of a lion. And he was just like, listen! And I was just like, what? He was just like, listen! And I was just like, okay, this is like the weirdest, most supernatural thing I've ever gone through in my life. And after that moment, my body was just like, I can literally just feel like, it was just like the Spirit of God was like just moving all over my body. And I just had tingles, like, not just head, like in your legs, like from my head right down to my toes, like, and it was whooshing. It was almost like a roller coaster motion, and it was just whooshing. And then I got up, and I was just like, this is weird. This is really weird. So I got up and I spoke to like my best friend, and she was just like, don't worry, it's fine. And I was just like, cool. And then after that, things just it was really amazing. But yeah, so then after that, in terms of makeup, things kind of carried on as usual, but I always had this fear in the back of my head that I could never be a Christian and wear weave and listen to secular music or wear earrings or have my nails painted because of everything that I knew in the past. And it was things like that that stopped me from being saved earlier on. I just didn't want to give those things up. And now that I was a Christian, I was just so worried that I would have to just stop doing that, because I genuinely did enjoy stuff like curling my hair and stuff like that. It wasn't to do with vanity, I don't think. And I remember one day I was doing makeup inspired by Aaliyah's, I think it's Rock the Boat, and I was literally just fighting because I was like, God, like, I want to wear makeup, like, let me wear makeup, let me wear makeup, let me wear makeup. And I just felt like really I was just fighting myself, because I didn't definitely know that I was just being really paranoid basically. And then there was this one day that he was just like, okay, I just want you to stop wearing makeup, like for a while, just stop wearing makeup. And I was like, oh my gosh, how long am I going to stop wearing makeup for? How am I going to go on YouTube? How am I going to talk to people? Like, this is awful. Like, can I wear lipstick? Is it everything? Or can I still wear mascara? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, you know, I don't have eyebrows. I can't be coming down to London to thread my eyebrows all the time. Like, I don't know. Literally, this was my mind. So I was just like, oh my gosh. And eventually, like, it was hard at first, really hard at first. But eventually I was just like, clearly you're doing this for a reason. And maybe I realised that he was trying to show me like my natural beauty, like to embrace what I am underneath foundation and concealer and all of that. And eventually I actually started to embrace my natural beauty and start taking care of my skin more as well, because I wasn't really doing that too much. And I started realising so much that it was almost like everything I'd ever learned about makeup had kind of been reshifted a little bit. And I'd always thought that makeup was an enhancer. It's to enhance your beauty, enhance your beauty. And in some ways it is, I suppose, or some people still think it is. But for me, that almost sounds like what's underneath isn't beautiful enough already. But from a human eye, I can see what they mean, because like, my eyes are stunning, and if I put on eyeliner, you'll notice how beautiful my eyes are even more. And so I can see where people like that are coming from. But for me, I just really started to embrace it, and I didn't feel the need to wear makeup all the time. Like, I could just go out and I would be so happy in not having to hide it anymore, and not feeling so ashamed and so upset at seeing myself in the mirror. And so that's what I learned really in that time. So then after that 3 months, he started to allow me to start wearing makeup. He was like, okay, you can start wearing makeup again. And I was just like, okay. And it's been good. I mean, the way I see makeup now is so much funner than I saw makeup before, because before I always saw it as a must-have or a must-do, and just very just not as fun or as something so girly that it should be. And now when I think about makeup, I'm just so excited, because I'm just like, yay, I'm going out, what colour should I wear? And I get so excited about what I'm going to create, and it's so fun, and it's literally like an art to me now, where it wasn't like that before. And I'm just trying to remember why I never saw it like that before. But yeah, that's basically where I am now. And I do feel like so happy in who I've become now through that whole journey. Just so much happier, and a lot more confident as well, and just knowing who you are. Like, just I stopped relying on things to define me. I stopped relying on makeup to say, oh yeah, that Sweet Poetry is this because she wears this and she has this and she wears this out. You know, I stopped thinking like that, and it was literally just like me and like what do I like and stuff that I loved since I was a child that's made me who I am. The fact that I'm artistic, which means I appreciate things that look nice, and it really formed me as a person. Like a journey on discovering who I am without makeup and clothes and heels and jewelry and all of that stuff. Rachel Zoe has a saying that your clothes say who you are before you even have to open your mouth. And now I get it, and I've always gotten it. But now I kind of disagree, because I used to rely on stuff like that. And being a fashionista and all of that kind of stuff, and loving fashion, loving hair and loving glamour, shouldn't have to define who you are inside. It shouldn't be the full stop. Do you know what I mean? It should almost not even be a beginning. It should be like a prelude. It should just be like, there's a taste, and now get to know them and just see how fabulous they are on the inside. So that's me. And right now I've just been really learning with Dad, God Dad, to just take people as they are and not judge them on the outside. It's hard because you're human and that's all you've ever known, and now you have to think, you have to elevate your thinking a little bit more. I love YouTubers. I think there's just so much emphasis on what you look like and what you buy and what you're wearing and what hair you have, and all of this, to the point where we just love it. Like we just eat it up, and we eat it up so much that when we see these people at their natural form, we're almost disgusted or insulted, and we shouldn't be, because that's the best form of who they are. And that's how you're going to leave the earth at the end of the day. Subscribe, please. Almost at 7,000. Crazy. Subscribe, like, favorite, share, and did I say comment? Yeah, comment. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Once again, bye.